had a bit of a technical
issues to start.
And we suddenly realised that we did 10 minutes of golden content. And
no one will ever hear.
Never recorded. So double checking everything, recording there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're up and good. Okay, Brendan, take two. How you doing, man?
Yeah, doing good.
All right,
good, man.
So we're here to chat about the girls program,
Specifically
the DPL, because we're involved in it a lot. You know, myself as a coach, you as a director, and just going to cover those sort of 6 teams and recap the season and talk about some favourite moments. So I guess, the first question really is how do you think the season's gone? Or the full season?
Right. I think the fall season has been really good by all measurable accounts. Right. You look at how things went last year with some teams being new teams, not very competitive in a league that only had 6 teams. To this year, where the league is strengthened by adding the likes of Houston Surf, HTX, Premier, right, a local club, and then that's the only 3, right, that they've added, I think. But anyways, it's gone from a 16 league to an 18 league, and the level is just raised, and luckily we've been able to kind of match that standard and have had massive improvements from every team. And it's been really good to see the girls compete both locally in terms of within the league and the conference, but also, as I'm sure we'll talk about, the regional event that they've done really well. And so, currently we have 3 teams that are positioned to qualify for DPL Nationals in the summer in late June. And then your 2011 girls are right there, and I don't think we have a single team in last place, which is encouraging also, right, that we have quite a high floor, but also quite a high ceiling, but also a pretty high floor in terms of we don't have any real outliers in terms of performance. So
the league was good last year, but you mentioned those additions, those 3 clubs coming in, they just elevated it.
100%.
And it's such a competitive league. And we were chatting earlier, like just using my 2012 girls as an example, just because I'm their head coach.
Right.
Like they don't have any free hits or easy games in their bracket. So like my 2011s are a lot stronger than a couple of other teams, right? And they've won a couple of games quite comfortably. The 2012s, every game is a fight, and it's a battle, and it's competitive. And I think we've owned the heaviest defeat they had against Houston Rangers, who are on another level.
Unbelievable.
Was like 4-0. But it's pushing them, and it's helping them. They're getting better, and they're hanging in there, and results aren't always the best, but they're close. There's no blowouts other than that 4-0. Performances are good. They're turning the corner. When they come back now to play against local teams and local events, they're winning tournaments, so they're improving that way. So yeah, man, it's a really, really good league. It's a really good league.
Yeah, I think you've even seen progress from because we play, it's a home and away model, so we play everyone twice. And I think using Houston Surf and Houston Rangers as an example, when we played them at GVTC, it was a struggle. I think we won 1 game out of 10 in that first round of games. But we played them most recently in Houston, and I think we picked up 5 or 6 wins in a couple of draws. So we've even seen progress from August to I think that was mid-October, late October. So it's good to see everybody's in to your point, improving incrementally, but very much.
What do you see as like the main strengths in our opposition? Compared to like if we were going to stay in the local leagues. Especially these teams from Houston.
Yeah, you look at one like HTX is just such a machine. Like their player pool is probably the biggest in the state, I would imagine. In terms of what they do well, they can overwhelm me with quality essentially because they're able to pull from 900 players or whatever. I think it's more than that actually. I think it's like 1,100. Houston Surf is a newer club, but had previously had really good girls teams, and they do a bit of everything. They're technically really good. They're physical. They don't really have any holes. Houston Rangers is just an incredibly technically gifted group of players. From under 13 to under 19, they play. I'd say stylistically they're most similar to us in terms of they like to play. They like to have the ball. 9-5-6 is
it's physical,
but also they have some very technically gifted players. But it's a battle. To your point, it's a battle every time you play 9-5-6. So every team, it's a bit different. I think GFI is like really well coached. I think all their teams are really organized. So each game kind of presents its own challenge, and you got to solve the puzzle essentially. But it's fun as a coach because again, every game's going to be different. Every game's going to provide different obstacles. So it's
Do you feel the pressure though? You said it's fun as a coach. Do you ever do you feel the pressure that we've got to stay competitive in this league? I'm not saying there's any repercussions, right? DPL's not going to kick anyone out or anything like that. Right. But because the games are so intense and everyone's giving it their all, do you ever feel the pressure that we've got to be on our A game all the time just to help the players stay in these games and compete?
Yeah, but I think it's more, to your point, I think it's more internal where I don't want to let the players down. I don't want to let the team down. It's not so much that I need to win this game to keep us in the league or improve our league standing or whatever. It's just we're competitive. I think obviously as coaches you want to get results, but you also I never want to be the reason that my team has any sort of shortcomings or anything like that. So I think the pressure is more so on myself that I put it on myself more so than external, reasons or whatever it might be. But it's definitely different than coaching an under 8 academy team or something like that.
I don't know whether this is good or bad, but I don't think I've sat down once in a DPL game. Whereas at our past tournament, it was quite good just to sit back and just go out and play and enjoy yourselves. And there's not as much pressure. But I've always wondered whether the players feel that same pressure, playing in the DPL.
I think so, man. I think sometimes ignorance is bliss, and with the younger ones in particular, I don't know if they know much of a difference, but I think that's a good thing because I don't think they feel, to your point, the pressure, and they're able to go out.
It's the same game.
Right. The older ones will ask about, if we win this game, where do we sit in the league, and this, that, and the other, and they're a bit more in tune, and I think they carry it a bit more, but that makes sense because they're older and they're obviously. I think the more you play and the higher level you play at, you want to stay at that level and you're really competitive, and that makes sense. But luckily, the younger ones, I think, they go out there and play to
we
play,
put a lot more emphasis on it than
correct. Yeah.
What's been your favourite moment then of the full season?
Yeah, just the 2013 girls. It's a team that has kind of we picked up 5 or 6 new players, over the course of the last tryout, which is a third of the roster, so kind of getting all the pieces to fit and stuff like that, and they started off a bit slow, and they went from 9v9 in a local 9v9 league to 11v11 in a national league. So there was obviously some periods of struggle, and they're trying to figure everything out. But they the last game of the season they got their first league win, and played really well, and the girls loved it. So they beat a local club as well. That's also in DPL 2-0. And we're fired up and jumping up and down, and they loved every second of it. Dumped water on my head afterwards, which was a blast. And the 2010s, who it's a group that's the bulk of that group's been with us. I mean, half of them have been with us since under 8 or under 9. The rest of them have been, for the most part, under 13. So it's a group I've had for 4 years myself, and that's been with the club for. I mean, they've been through the club through a lot of stuff, and they've stuck by us through a lot of stuff. But they've ended the season on a 10-match unbeaten streak.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, with 9 wins, and they've gone to Houston, and Houston Rangers is currently ahead of us in the table. They're first, we're second, but to get to second place, we had to go to Houston and beat Houston Rangers, who hadn't lost a game, hadn't conceded a goal all season. And we played really well. We beat them 2-0, and then Houston surfed the next day, which is another tough game. We went up 2-0, and you talk about sitting down and relaxing. I took my foot off the gas for a little bit. It's 2-0, second half, we're fine. They scored 2 goals in 5 minutes to make it 2-2, and I'm back up, jumping up and down and going crazy. And then we score in the last minute. Toby Pullen, who's one of those players who's been with us for 8 years at this point, scores a really good solo goal to last minute to win it 3-2. So that weekend stands out just because it was 10s played really, really well, and it was against some of the better opponents that they've competed against this year. So it was good. It was good. What about for you? Anything? Yeah.
Well, I think start with the 2012s. We were talking earlier about where that team has come from when they first came together 3 years ago. We didn't have a 2012 team,
right?
So players were pulled from Mays YMCA, our recreational program, our academy program,
right?
Maybe second or third teams from other clubs, all put together. didn't have much success in the local leagues, lower local leagues to start with, to where they're now competing. And have grown over the past 3 years. Yeah. And I think one of the standout moments actually was from they've been great in DPL.
Yeah.
But our Winter Classic tournament, like when they were in the final, they were up 2-0 in the first half. Really good quality game, good quality goals as well. Yeah. I thought Addison and Leah were playing very well together up front. Second half, backs to the wall, right? Yep. Playing against a physical, tough opponent. Yep. To credit, came back at us and dominated us in the second half. They had the wind. 2-1, made it about 2-1 about 5 minutes ago. So squeaky bum time, right? Not enjoying this. But I think when the final whistle goes, and I think it might have been Ivan was talking about this with the boys at MLS Next. None of our players celebrate. Right. When we score goals or when we win games, no one celebrates. Yeah. My word, did the 2012 goals celebrate?
Yeah, I was there.
That final whistle goes. They're sprinting to each other. They're celebrating. You can see it means a lot to them. So I think for that group, that was one of my favourite moments. For the 11s, national event in Arizona. I mean, with the 11s, we started all the way back in July with a pre-season performance program, which I thought was really good. And with everything leading up, periodization, everything was leading up to the Arizona event. And for them to win 2 games out of 2, that Friday night game against El Paso, I thought was something else. Evie Nicholson's solo goal on Sunday in the last game to win the game with 4 minutes to go against SoCal Reds, where she just picked up the ball at the halfway line, went off, beat a couple of players, fantastic finish. I really think they enjoyed that and came together. They had a team building weekend out in the woods doing rope climbs and trust exercises. I think it's been good for them. But I think the Arizona event capped off what's been a really good season for them. So do you have any standout players? Should we give some shout out to a couple of players, even on Seth's team? I know we go and watch Seth's and Seth's groups as well.
Real quick, just about the Arizona event before we move on.
Let's touch on that. Sorry, let's go on that. Tell us about it. Yeah.
So last year when we went to your 11s were in Provo because they were under 14s, and the 10s were in they were in Arizona as well. But last year it was a good week, like when we were there last time. But in terms of results, I think, we won, 4 games from whatever it be, 12, if that, 3 or 4 games from 12 across under 15s, under 19s. This time we went and out of the 10 games we played, because we had 2 rainouts, we won 8, tied 1 and lost 1. So to see, again, just talking about kind of progress in seeing how the group has improved, or the program has improved, I think that's a black and white, you can stamp it that we're moving in the right direction, because we're going, and not only we're competing with teams from California and Arizona and Colorado and El Paso, we're beating these teams, which was not the case last year. We were competitive, but we struggled to kind of have that killer instinct and put games away. So it was really good to see. Your 2011s won both theirs, the 10s won all 3 of theirs, the 07-08s won both of theirs, and then Ceph's 09s won 1, tied 1, and lost 1. In every game, I mean, we were pushed, right? There was no lopsided scores really. It was every game was a challenge. I know the team that the 10s played on Thursday night. That first night's one of the 3 or 4 best teams we probably ever played against. It was intense, and it was end to end, and could have gone either way. But our girls played really well, and they were able to do what they needed to do to get the win. I think similar to when y'all played El Paso, I think it was a great game. Y'all, we talked about like the characteristics of different teams in DPL, and I think that El Paso team was like 9-5-6, but maybe even a cut above. We're really physical and really strong, but every single player could.
And they had, I mean, and I think once we got to grips with that, like we had enough quality to create chances, 100%. To move the ball. You saw it, and
it came to fruition.
Yeah.
But no, the event. I mean, it was good. I know Ceph's.
And he got some college coaches recognition as well, which I think is important. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Had half a dozen coaches at the game on one of the nights, and I think it was Friday night, and then the 10s had same thing. Half a dozen coaches at their games, and I'm sure it was the same for the 9s as well. It just wasn't the way our schedules worked out. Wasn't able to see them play, but that's kind of the reason to go to those events is to It's the whole point, right, is to have those moments and college coaches watching and stuff like that. So we had a few girls get, individually reached out to by college coaches. And then we actually, Mia, on our 07-08 team, I'd give her a quick shout out because she got selected for the DPL All-Star game last year in Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. And then a part of that was she got to travel to Rome, Italy with that. It was called the DPL Perform program with that group of players. And she was there for a week right after the Arizona trip, so she was out of town for about a month, it felt like. But got to play against Roma's, youth girls team, Lazio's youth girls team, and they were really successful. And I think Mia scored the winner, actually, in the first game they played. So it's another thing, awesome. Just talking about DPL and kind of the opportunities it provides for players.
In Italian football, you don't get much bigger than Roma and Lazio. They've been around. Obviously, you've got the two Milan teams. You've got Juventus.
Yeah, you take those three out of it though, and it's
Roma and Lazio are some of the big hitters as well. And for her to have the opportunity to,
and they worked with the Roma.
I think they trained with the coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
They trained with the coaches and then played the games.
Some friendly matches. So it was, man, it was by all accounts. We weren't there obviously, but just from what I've heard, it was a really good experience.
To be immersed in that culture, that was so nice.
It's. I'm sure it's wildly different than here, obviously. So it's just overall, the things the league has provided for us, and it's been a great experience, and this fall in particular has been really encouraging for the players.
Yeah. Any shout outs to players there? Yeah, we shout out Mia. Let's go. Let's roll it back to the 13s. Then anyone impressed you there?
Yeah, our center back partnership, Hannah and McKenna. They're two really good kids, great kids. That just work tirelessly and have kept us in a lot of games and they've just improved and improved and improved. Like Hannah last year really played as an outside back more than a center back.
Yeah.
And then McKenna was a goalkeeper and a forward that she came from her other club. So they very easily both could have been like, nope, I don't want to do this. But they've taken to the roles and they've been really good. But you look at the spine of that team. Sophia and Inez, great players. They're all players that have improved and improved and improved throughout the course of the fall season. For the 10s, I mentioned Toby. I think she scored something like 13 goals in 10 games or something, crazy. Her goal output this year has been really, really impressive.
And was selected for varsity at Piper through that as well.
She made varsity as a freshman, and you talk about good kids. There's not very many better than Toby, just with her personality and how hard she works and everything she does for the team. Brianna in goal is another absolute rock star.
Legit.
Yeah.
She could be pound for pound, could be the best goalkeeper in the club.
Yeah, different level.
Sorry, if there's any MLS Next boys listening to this, but pound for pound, I think Bree's phenomenal.
But she's the starting varsity goalkeeper at Smith Valley as a freshman. Reese Williamson and Julia Palmer also up top have chipped in with a ton of goals. I think they're both near double digits as well. So that team, again, I could go on forever. There's the Riley Shepherd's been with, there's just Ainsley Goodwin. I could go on and I could talk about him for hours. You
want to do Seth's before I chat about the 11s? Who was the, I really liked the technical central midfielder we got on the 09s on Seth's team.
Camila. She came from our Northwest location.
Yes. Great player.
Unbelievable player. Yeah, lethal on set pieces, works and runs tirelessly. Obviously, Lexi Miles is on that team as well. We have a lot of Mileses in the club, and Lexi, same thing, just tireless worker. 09s are another team where again, the turnover from last year to this year, we added 9 or 10 players probably, and good players. But it took a lot for that team to come together as they have, and they've only lost one. I think in the fall they won 5, lost 1, and drew 4.
Drew the rest of them, didn't they?
So they're right there for a trip to nationals, and they've been fantastic, and they have players kind of all over the field that are the same thing. But Maddie Parsons and Olivia Mason are two other examples of the players who've been with us for a little bit now and have done really well. His senior girls. I've known them for the ones that have been around. I coached them when they were under 11s, so I've known them for forever. But Emma Perez has been a monster. Emmy in the midfield joined us. She was playing with the boys last year and came over here for her.
She's been a big addition.
Yeah, she's another one. She's an absolute cut above the rest. She was, I think like NEI's or 26, whatever it is, Reagan's district. She was, midfielder of the year and unbelievably technically gifted and again, very good kid as well. But yeah, you look at, players like that. You look at similar to Camila, who came from our Northwest location. Emery and Kimmery came over from that team that trains at the Blade Runner Fields and have been huge additions to the DPL team and two key players. Brooklyn Medina is another one. She's been with us since, I think she's the only player on that team that's been with us from under 8 to senior, like just never left, never stopped playing, never anything. But she's another one. Unbelievable kid, unbelievable family. I can't speak highly enough of them. But yeah, I mean, obviously you can chip in with
I mean, just in closing, some shout outs of mine. I mean, it's difficult, right? When
please try again.
Oh,
Siri's.
That's all right. Siri, is that Siri?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on? It's difficult because you want to mention every single player.
Yeah, exactly.
I think especially if the team has had a good season,
right.
Everyone's been at training and been consistent and performed and worked hard.
Yeah.
But I think the standouts for me for the 12s, I mean, the usual suspects are always going to be Addison, Smith and Leah, right? The two forwards.
Right.
They're our goal threat. We rely on them. But I think Adeline Choke's been massive for that team.
Yeah.
It just brings a presence to centre back, something a little bit different. She's solid, very good 1v1 defender.
Right.
Good range of passing.
Yeah.
She had the experience of the last couple of years of playing up.
Yep.
So the physicality aspect is there. She's been huge for that team. And then Taya's stepped up massively at centre midfield. Yeah. And I think Hannah McNew has been the surprise package in kind of centre midfield.
Yeah.
And those two have really formed a decent relationship. And you were talking about the 13s, the spine of the team. Like the 12, you've got Addie, Hannah, Taya, Addison and Leah as your spine of the team, then you can't complain. Yeah. And then everyone else falls in and does their role as well. So the 11s, really good. It's a difficult one. We've got Olivia. Yeah. Olivia at centre back's been class. Yeah. I mean, she's been class. Good. Her improvement over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean,
it's 18 months.
She's gone up to another level. Yeah. Solid ball playing, centre back, great vision, great range of passing. Just doesn't let you down. Yep. Hadley Keene's been really impressive this year. I feel like she's a lot fitter, a lot more mobile. Her switches of play, her vision, her through balls, her linking sort of the defence to the attack's been awesome. Yep. And I mean, Evie Nicholson. Yeah. I mean, every game, Evie Nicholson is our goal threat. 100%. Is our wow factor. She's our wow factor, and she's a class player. And so she definitely deserves a bit of a shout out because some of the stuff she does in the final third, I wish I had a left foot like her, So it's been good, but kudos to sort of everyone. I think it goes to show that our girls program. You said it earlier. We had 80 players, a few years ago, and now we're sitting at
250.
I mean, we're going in a good direction. Yeah. We're going in a really good direction.
100%. No, I mean, honestly, we could sit here and talk for 3 hours about every player. I mean, everyone in the DPL program has impressed me at one point or another.
Yeah. And all the teams have been awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There's no complaints about anyone, man. It's been a fantastic fall season, and even looking forward, like our 2014 girls, it'll be the first time in a couple of years, well, in the 2 years we've been in DPL, that it's a team that is pretty established in like they're already starting to play 11-11 games of spring and stuff like that. So even looking forward to the future, because this year with the 2013s, like I said, it was a team that 6 or 7 new players had never really played 11-11 before. Yeah. Last year, 2 years ago with the 12s, we're still trying to kind of figure out what that roster looks like going into 11-11. So it'll be nice to. 2014s are a very good team, so to have a team that's going to be, I don't want to say built and ready for it straight away because it's going to be a huge step up and a big challenge, but to be able to continue to
it's not a team that's been put together at the last minute and then thrust into the league, say, hey, all the best, off you go.
They should be they just participated in the tournament locally, playing up a year this past weekend, the weekend after our Winter Blast or our Winter Classic, and they won 2 of the 3 games and. Again, are very much moving in the right direction. So
that's fantastic.
We have some unbelievable academy teams, our 2016 girls, our 2017 girls. Like, it all seems like it's very much moving in the right direction, which unfortunately hasn't always been the case over the past few years. but it's trending upwards, and it's just it's encouraging to see. Our 2016 girls were the ball girls at the Piper Reagan, like they did their high school scrimmage, and it was good to see all the little 2016s out there with their SA United hoodies.
Yeah.
So it's good to see kind of.
But the future of the girls program is
moving
again.
It's doing what it needs to do, and it's at a higher level than it's been pre-COVID, since COVID. You know what I mean? In terms of like the quality that we have in those younger age groups. So it's,
and then for anyone that potentially wants to look at our programs or learn a little bit more about us, Monday, January the 5th, is that right?
Yep.
6 p.m. at GVTC. We're doing a little ID
clinic,
like or a training session. Come out and meet the staff. Of the girls program,
and that I believe is open. That's under 11 to under 19.
It's so for everyone.
Pre-DPL, current DPL, whatever it might be. It's just a good opportunity to come out and meet. Obviously you and I, Coach Seth, Coach Noel, Coach I, there's going to be people out there in the leadership team outside of just the two of us. However we can continue to kind of grow and push. I think that's the goal. So the clinics are a good opportunity for players to come and see what they could be a part of and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we called it there.
Yeah, 26 minutes.
Yeah, brilliant.
It recorded
I'm still good as well. So, all right, Brendan, thanks, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.